Hello guys, and welcome back if you're coming from our previous guides. This video is going to be the third and final part of our smoking tutorial series. My name is Thomas, also known as Blubby, and in this guide we are going to cover the different types of smokes you can use to create and assist plays with on the attacking side. This video is aimed at experienced players, so if you're a beginner, make sure to check out the previous parts of the series first to get you up to level. So let's first take a look at your role on the attacking side and recap on what we have learned in the previous guides. As a controller, you are playing in a supportive role. Your main objective during the round is to aid your team as much as possible in all the strategies they want to execute. This could mean smoking of key areas on the map to allow your team to take map space during a default setup, smoking of long sidelines to deny information and or to safely capture objectives such as ult orbs, or simply smoking of the side entrances during an execute to isolate the defenders. However, no matter which strategy your team pursues during the round, the general concept on when and where you will want to smoke always stays the same. To assist your teammates by denying vision from your opponents, to enable your team to safely take space. This also means that you will want to play particularly safe on attack, so that you won't die early on in the round and your abilities are actually available when they are needed. Alright. Now that we are all back up to speed, let's take a deeper look at the different types of smokes you can use on attack and the situations in which you will want to use them. Now, this is the most common and straightforward scenario to use your smokes on the attacking side. You will want to smoke off the side entrances defenders could be holding or rotating from to cut off sidelines and isolate the defending side players, enabling your team to focus on side alone and take control. Timing is crucial with this smoke, as you will usually need to place two in order to cover all the entrances to the side, and the smokes need to be placed at just the right time so they won't fade early during the side take. On a default setup, the attackers will generally want to play split positions on the map and wait with the side take until they find weaknesses in their opponent's setup. In this type of scenario, you will want to smoke out key positions on the map to deny your opponents as much information as possible and keep them guessing about what your team is actually targeting. This will force the defenders to thin out their setup and spread out on the map to not give up any position for free, which will often allow your team to find a pick on the map and then play out the man advantage. Potential options are immediately executing the side where you got an entry, or if you're too spread out on the map, playing it slow, grouping up and going for trades. Another smoke you can use in a default setup, or pretty much any setup where you don't just execute fast and need all of your smokes right away, is the info deny smoke. Its objective is to deny vision from the defenders on one side of the map to create pressure and prevent them from fully rotating towards their team until the spike or all attacking players are spotted, as it always leaves them unclear on whether an attacker is playing behind the smoke or not. This type of smoke is also useful to safely capture ult orbs at the start of the round, and can be used to facilitate a side execute by allowing the attackers to get close with their utility and explode onto side, for example by pop flashing out of the smoke, thus making it really difficult to hold for the defending players. It can also be used to create lurk plays, which leads us to the next type of smoke. Something unique you can do as a controller is to use your smokes to get yourself or a teammate into deeper positions without getting spotted by the defenders, allowing you to infiltrate their structure and help your team to win a side by backstabbing your opponents or calling out their rotations. Your smokes can also be used to bypass traps to further enable these type of plays. High value positions for a lurk play like this would be lamps on bind or kitchen on icebox, for example. Remember how a defensive smoke should be placed flush with the wall so that the attackers are open to as many angles as possible when they leave the choke point? If you struggle to get on site because your opponents are making good use of their utility, you can also try to place a deep smoke right outside of the choke point to give your team the option to peek from many angles at once. Or to create a safe path to enter the site without being exposed at all, making it a lot more difficult to hold for the defending side players. On the map Breeze, this is basically the default setup for an A side take, using the Viper Wall to create a safe path for your team to enter A side. However, this same principle can be used by pretty much any controller on other maps as well. Keep in mind that unless you're playing Viper or Brimstone, or maybe Harbor now that he's released, this means that you will be one smoke short of smoking off all the side entrances, making it easier for the rotating defenders to enter the side and support their teammates. This leads us to the final part of this video. How do you use your smokes in a post-plant scenario? On post-plant, the sides are essentially switched. Now you, the attackers, must defend the side from the defenders trying to retake. The most common smoke you'll use on Postplant is the defensive default smoke. You want to smoke off the entry chokes for the defending players to make their retake as difficult as possible. This smoke will almost always offer great value for your team and is easy and quick to set up, which is very important because these situations tend to be very quick and tactic a lot of the time. However, all the smokes and strategies that we've covered in our Smoking on Defense guide can be usefully applied here, and all you need to do is to decide which is the most useful in your current situation, given your teams and the opponent's positions and numbers. So this concludes our Smoking Guide series. However, smokes are only one of the many topics and areas to understand and improve on in Valorant, and we are going to try and cover all of them in the future, so make sure to subscribe to our channel so you won't miss out on that. If you feel like you already know everything about using your utility correctly, but lack when it comes to actually getting the kills, go and check out our crosshair placement series next, as it might help you in that regard. It is linked right here. I will talk to you in the next one. Until then, much love. Bye.
CT.